All right. Hello, everyone. It's exactly 11 a.m. Good morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Real Estate IQ's Friday Open House. I am Sophia from the marketing team of Real Estate IQ, and I want to welcome you all for our virtual, yet as fun as any type or any of our Friday open houses. Well, before we start, I want to maybe warm up everyone first before we start our event for today. I want us all to get comfortable and, of course, ready for our speakers. Now, to make that happen, I need you, or I need everyone to participate, and maybe you can share with all of us in this room one word about how you are all feeling today. So if you can type in the chat, I know that you can do that. Um, let's read everyone's just one word to describe how today has been feeling. Anyone? Well, I guess I can start. Today has been a very I could say fun. We had no classes at all because of the heat index, but it was still a time for me to rest, although it was a bit hot because it's summer. So I guess it was a good time to rest also. How about you? Oh, well, we have John here who said he is excited. Exciting. And yes, I agree. Today is a very exciting day. What about the others? Can I get some more um hmm, how today has been feeling? Maybe some of you just started their day. Some maybe it's already midday or even evening. Well, okay. So thank you. Thank you for those who participated. And I know that you are all ready and, as John has mentioned, excited for today. Well, without dragging on too much, let us now go on to. Oh, okay. Wait. So I see all of your comments now. Anne said it's calming, it's peace. That's nice. It's a sunny and bright day. Yes, I agree. Okay. So thank you for participating. Well, without dragging too much, let us now move on to our main star, our spotlight for today. I know that the open house is a great opportunity for us to get to know about real estate IQ, and also get to have insights about market trends, market insights straight from our experts. And with that, I want to introduce our speakers for today. Our speakers for today are two of the brains behind Real Estate IQ. We have here joined with us the CEO and founder, John Wang, Steve Yang, and also joined with us today, Anne Fan. They are experienced consultant, investors and strategists who have experiences in business and most especially real estate. So without further ado, let us welcome and give out our virtual applauses to the three of them who's joining us with here today. Hello. Hi, John. Hi, Steve. Hi,
Thank you.
Anne.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you, Sophia. That was powerful. Thank you. And we're excited to be here to share with you the exciting insight and information about real estate investment and business opportunity. It's a good day. So welcome to our intro and overview. So if you do have questions, feel free to fill out in the chat so we can respond to you after our presentation. And feel free to open your camera or unmute yourself if you got questions. And I know some of us have been here before, and some of us are pretty new. So regardless, we welcome you. Um, your question when you come to this stage is that, hey, I just started a real estate business or investment. Can you help me? Well, the answer is absolutely we can help you. However, we have a question for you. First question, are you investing in real estate deals? Or second question, are you building a business through real estate? It's totally depending on your answer to either of the question, and we can figure out a way to help you or both of the questions. So I have three questions for you throughout this presentation and this introduction, and feel free to start writing down your thoughts and feelings, and it will eventually lead you through the conversation and essentially pave a shortcut for your business. So first question is, which part of this can benefit you and your family? Second, who else you know may benefit from this information? last, if not the least, is how can you leverage this information for your personal and professional and career goals. So this is our kind of a value proposition and then our 4 cornerstone in Real Estate IQ. And in our business, we are helping you to pursue so-called FIRE work, which is financial independence and retire early. And however, our foundation is to bless you, your family, your finance, your business, and whatever that you think that should benefit from us. And of course, in between are the 3 pillars. First is to help you to learn. Second, could help you to earn. Third, if your choice is, and will help you to earn a business and own a business. All right. So our motto is to help one more person to win. And we have launched a campaign. We call it a 90-day campaign, which is to change your destiny. Whether you have started the real estate already or you just got started off, but you got to keep in your mind, Rome is not built in a day, and real estate business or real estate investment cannot be accomplished through overnight or a week or a month. According to our statistics, it takes about 90 days to land the first deal. And even in a tough market situations like today, yes, 90 days, if you follow the steps, follow the coaching, if you do the right thing, you will definitely get a deal. Okay. Let's say your interest is to invest in real estate. You have some extra money, you have interest to invest in real estate, whether you have money or not, right? If you don't have money, we can find you money. But let's say you have money and you want to invest in the real estate. So you need to look at this picture and get a good understanding of real estate is such a huge business. It's a $34 trillion industry. There are about 300 million Americans. And if, say, every American can purchase a real estate out of a $34 trillion, you can see how each person is worth per dollar amount. So you could also earn and own and invest in real estate, and there is a big pie for you. Now, the question is, do you invest in real estate for retirement, for fun, or for sponsoring your kids' college? It depends on the answer. Your approach should be different. I know this is a new information to you, but just keep it going. Depends on if you reach the age of retiring and you would like to have some safe investment and you want moderate return. With the safety and the moderate return, real estate is definitely a good investment. However, if you really would get into the age where you are retiring already and you would like to have a liquidity, meaning more cash flow in your hands, and you want to have some decent return, then real estate is not your good deal. Actually, you need to have mutual funds, bonds, and stocks. But if your concern is you are retiring or you are in a situation where you definitely don't care about a return, you just want to have a safety and a liquidity, then maybe a bonds and some debt product would be a good safe investment for you. But if you're 20-year-old, you should definitely think about a good return and the liquidity. That's a stock, that's a mutual fund. All right, so hopefully this model works, but I'm just giving you a taste of it. And once we get to the coaching part of it, we will definitely guide you through. By the way, since you are joining us today or you are referred by someone to us, your financial reviews, business coachings or investment suggestions or coachings will be totally complimentary. All right, so we also look at where the real estate lands on certain individuals' portfolio. Let's say you have, this is what we call the cake chart, and you really want to consider real estate as an investment, then you should have two levels of good foundations already. First line of a foundation is protection. There are four lines of protection: health, disability, long-term care, life, right? And the second line of protection is your retirement, right? Your pension, self-made pension, and life stream for incomes, right? Then you should be able to consider real estate. Without these two foundations, then it's almost like building a house on the sand, okay? As Jesus put it in the Bible. So our philosophy is to treat your deal as our mission. Our deal is to mine the data, mine the leads, support you to close deals. And we're deal makers, as you can see. And we can help you to invest in real estate properties. And when you invest in the real estate, you actually lack of three things, anyone, right? First is the leads. Where can I buy? Where can I sell, right? Second is, how do I follow up with the seller, owner? And the third one is, if I got questions, how do I get support? Where can I find the answers? So as a matter of fact, Real Estate IQ, we built a very solid network of community in conjunction with Megalith, with RSL, with the deal maker financials, and all these partners will work together in order to support you to land those deals and close the deals. And we have an OML, off-market leads, whereby we mine the leads ourselves, one of the freshest leads that you can ever find in the market. We're definitely the top three. And we have a community, huge community on different social media platforms, on different events, different community meetups to support each other. And we also have a learning platform where you can find a document, ideas, articles, and also learning events. And we also help you with the coaches to evaluate your acquisitions, evaluate your due diligence, and to do some assessment on your acquisition for strategies. Then we can also help you to land enough of a funding to pocket the deal or make the loan cheaper, right? Then, of course, you get the first deal, okay? And we base on our business on one-on-one personalized coaching once a week. And as I said, if you're referred by someone or you're already part of the community, it will be free for you. Free means complimentary. We do charge you money, okay? And we also would like to train you to become a coach on our platform so that one day you can turn around and coach somebody else, even make money out of it. All right? And so we have four pillars in terms of supporting the real estate, the investment and the business: intelligence, services, education, and the network. And the intelligence, we have a data, we have a leads, we have a research, we have a scientists' tools in order to help you to capture the deal. And we do the deal comps evaluations. And we help you with our house-made CRM system where we have software engineers to support them. And we do skip tracing too, so that all the leads are solid and clean. And we do have a service. We have a marketing service, content service, and we have a VA service and customized leads mining service, whereby if you are interested in advertising your deals all through the network, we can help you to build up your personal website, your personal advertisement message, or social media campaign, all right? And remember, we have our CRM tools. And the other thing is, if you really would like to leverage certain expertise and professional data mining for your interested area, then CLM will be your best choice. We are the only company that offers CLM, customized leads mining, in the industry, whereby we do have committed resources, leaders, experts, consultants to help you to identify the leads that you are interested in, totally based on your customized search criteria and functions. All right. And we will do feasibility study with you as well. And we will help you to dispose the deal if that is needed by you. Of course, there is a premium service on that. And if you're interested in that, we have 15 states already covered by this group of talented individuals and professionals. And the manager is Brace. Cornelius, and she is able to be reached out by this phone number and also email address. All right. So I would suggest you to write them down and essentially reach out to her. Okay. Now, I'm going to switch the topic a little bit. We also have education and a network. However, if you are interested in making some money before your real estate business or real estate investment take off, we actually would invite you to be a data broker with us, which means you can sell our data to somebody else. As a matter of fact, quite a few people are actually our partners and the deal brokers and then the data brokers. Okay, so if you buy leads from somebody else and they don't recognize themselves as our data broker, then you should put a question mark or call us back. Okay, because that might be a data breaching, all right? But we do have some, encountered some issues with that in the past. However, if our partners is our deal brokers, they should identify themselves very straightforwardly because they earn a commission from us. Now, let's talk a little bit about our second topic, which is to start a business in real estate. All right, starting a business in real estate is different. Investing in real estate properties, deals, that's one thing. But to build a business, you have to be more considerate, right? And here you go. We are the right place to help you to start it off and kick off your business. And we're the dream makers. And as you can see, real estate investments itself is only $34 trillion. However, combining retail, real estate, and finance all together, that's about $200 trillion total in assets, right? So if you have a broader view to take advantage of a business, but starting off with the real estate, that's completely understandable. But where do we get started? Right? The question for you is, when did you conduct your health checkup? And people are confused. I want to do a business. Why do I need a health checkup? Well, let's take a look at what I meant about health. Health means your physical health, your body, your physical body health. But there is also a financial health, right? And we also need to consider the business health. And the last is your spiritual health. Okay. So let's focus on the business side. The business health includes goals, resources, systems, and exit plan, right? And from a system perspective, that ensures your business is repeatable and your success is reproducible. And that includes people, process, product, technology, right? And, the process of most of the business owners in real estate, they use is cold calling, VA service, due diligence, closing, disposition, all these steps, right? And the good news is we are experts on all these steps, and we have been helping tons of people, hundreds of people, thousands of people land their deals. So therefore, we could coach you to build up a solid system that is repeatable and that is everlasting. All right. And as I said, you can be a data broker, right? That doesn't need you to have a license or start it off with fundings. You can just do your social media or use your network to resell our data or our service, and you will earn a commission, right? And in your business, you need to consider the following information, right? What's the best interest you can borrow, right? To borrow the loan in order to invest in your business or invest it in the real estate properties. And how much can you put down? How much of a cash flow you have on yourself? And what is the return rate, right? Those are the very, very, very basic information that you need to consider for your business or any type of a business, right? And we are able to help you and work with our partners to look at your landscapes and essentially find a solution for you, right? Here, I'm going to introduce something really, really exciting, right? At today's interest, the lowest one you can get we've ever heard is about a 5.5% interest rate, okay? The loan you can borrow, probably from a bank with a 700, well, no, 800 points of credit that you can probably lend a 5.5 interest for 15 years, right? But if you want 30 years, you want a better interest, or you want to minimize your cash flow exposure. What I mean is put less money down for a deal for your business, and you want a good return. Maybe there's a great solution that is available to you. So I'm glad to bring up to the stage my friend Anne, who is the head coach of our business acquisition and disposition division, to the stage to share a little bit about our unique and trademarked solution called MAP process. And you ready?
Yes, John. And so for our MAP process, it's the win-win-win solution for, all the parties that involved in the transaction. That's the buyer, seller, and also the agent themselves in the transaction. So for the buyers, in the market, when market, not good as for the buyers, then they need either to discount the house, or they have to wait for too long to get a house sold, right? But with our method, we can offer them, with the market value price, and we can close very quickly, from um, within a week, or like 14 days. That's very possible for most of the transaction. And it's gonna be like very quick and easy, no hustle offer for the buyers. However, at the same time, on the seller side, when seller they go buy house, their challenging is what they need to prove income. They need to go through the bank. They need to prepare a lot of paperwork and down payment and everything. With our method, we can help them to have different options. Even if they don't have much cash up front, they still can buy the house. Even they are still fixing their credit, right? They are waiting. They don't have to wait until they fix their credit. We still can help them to buy. Even the market now is like very high interest when they purchase. We still can help them to buy with a very reasonable interest, like 3%, 2% through our method. And with the agent, like we also help the agent to get started when they, not experienced, right? They struggle with a deal. They trying to help both seller and buyers, but they cannot help. Then a lot of agents also reach out to us. And we, as the company, the agency in the middle, we handle the transaction, the paperwork, where we work with attorney to help all the parties involved for like a long-term, short-term, and we also advise for the exit strategy for the investor, whoever wants to be part of the transaction and purchase the house for investment, right? We also give them option. What is the scenario after closing? What you should do, right? And that created our reputation, not only during the transaction, but we are here as a legitimate, business. We not just help you with transaction, then we disappear, right? We're gonna be here and help you with after closing as well. Yeah. So, and I have John. Do you mind if I share my screen a little bit? Because I have an example
Yeah, go ahead.
that I think really help to share, and people can understand better on the win-win-win situation here. Okay, can you see my screen? So this is one of the transactions we did before. Is it Garland, right? And the situation we need to understand here is the seller is struggling because a lot of wholesaler investor reach out to the seller, try to make an offer, try to purchase the house, but then they all back out. And the realtor also trying to help the seller, but the realtor couldn't do anything, cannot get it sold, right? So seller is in a very kind of desperate situation. And at that time, the realtor reached out to us and then asked us for help. Come if we can help the seller out, right? So the house is a townhouse, and you can see the condition is like this. It's not good, right? It has a lot of issues, and you need to do a lot of work. So as a if you are a flipper, right? As an investor, you're supposed to fix the house into this condition to be able to flip it. So that means there's a lot of work, and we did. Of course, we have to run the numbers. We have to do analysis, right? And even as it's like we put ourselves in the shoes of a flipper and said, okay, if we come in, we purchase the house with cash, and we fix it up, right? The fixing is about 22,000, right? The profit for the investor is maximum is 15K, but it's a lot of work, right? And it's a lot of risk as well. And the maximum price the flipper can offer to the seller is like 162, which means he's gonna walk away without anything, and maybe he lose something for the closing cost, right? That's for the seller. But so a lot of flipper they walk away, they back out because of the potential issue, because they don't know, okay, if there's any other issue, then they're gonna lose money because their profit is so thin. It's like only 10, 15K. So another scenario, if the investor coming in and then want to rent out a house, right? You see the number here, rent.com. If they refinance it, if they cannot flip it, they refinance it. The interest is so high at the time, they cannot make profit. They cannot cash flow the house. So that's why it doesn't work out on the numbers for investor. That's why all of them back up. So with our method, how can we help the seller? So we coming in with our method, we not only can purchase the house with a market value for the seller, right? He pay off, or he can walk away without any debt on the house. Plus, we also give him 5,000 more. So instead of walking away for nothing, he now gets 5,000 to move on, right? To maybe like move out and help him with the moving. And not only that, instead of for as an investor, instead of we have to put in 184 as the initial investment, with our method, we only need 27,000 minimum, like maximum, sorry. And to purchase the house is how much? It's only 5,000. 22K is to fix the house. So that's the advantage of the method that I want to share, because here the seller got help. He also got the benefit, right? He got extra cash as the end buyer, right? So for this one, we end up getting another investor to purchase this house. We help him with what we call innovative funding here, because he put in less cash to purchase the house, less cash for the initial investment, and of course less risk as well. And he got a very good deal because the number works, right? The number works for him. He can rent it out later, and he still can cash flow the house and make about 400 or 500 dollars per month if he rents it out. If he want to flip it, he can flip it as well, right? Yeah, so that is the example that I want to share. That's the win-win-win situation, and also the realtor also got paid through this transaction.
That's right. Exciting, isn't it? This is a groundbreaking and a nerve-wracking solution that many folks couldn't believe that we were able to pull it off. And our R&D, research and development, took about a year and a half through over 30, 40 different properties deals in order to fix up our processes and our systems and our coaching approaches. And Anne has been coaching quite a few people to succeed in their deals already and build their business already. So I would highly suggest you to reach out to her, and don't worry, I'll post her contact information afterwards. But then the question for you once you get excited is, how do I really get started? How should I get really started? Well, again, as I reminded you already, have you conducted your health checkup, right? The physical health, your body health, because it really demands a lot of time, effort, since you probably have a full-time job and you do this on a part-time basis, you only have a 2, 3 additional hours. And aside from spending the time playing video games with your kids, you want to spend time in your building your business, then you need to have a good health, right? And also, you need to have a solid finance in order to support your business. And we're already talking about a business structure, business system. That's where we're expert in this industry to help you out. Our partners, Steve, or partners, other partners, Catherine's, we can definitely help you out, right? Let's talk a little bit about our finance, which is overlooked by most of the people who jump into real estate, right? When we're talking about a finance, we're talking about a cash flow, debt handling, emergency fund protection plan, asset growth, and estate planning. These are in sequence, my friends. Okay, you got to take care of them step by step, right? And what I mean is, if you don't have a solid cash flow and you couldn't handle your debt, and you don't even have enough emergency fund to support your family needs, and you jump into real estate, you are way ahead of the curve. Asset growth, that includes investment approaches, including real estate, right? But that's not only thing, because you need to build up a solid foundation in order to move into the asset investment. However, a lot of people started the business without a solid ground, cash flow, debt management. So what do? Well, they basically scramble. They borrow credit card, they borrow private loans, and then they build the loans after loans, right? And then they reverse mortgage their own houses and cars and eventually go broke, right? That's not what we want you to do, because we're a partner with you in doing the business and we want you to win, right? We want you to feel like a winner and success. So in order to do that, we actually partner with different kind of companies to support you. For instance, we partner with debt consolidation and reduction companies to help you out. It's not some Dave Ramsey, book-based knowledge and cut your credit card and you will be rich. I mean, no such thing. All right. Buying his book, reading his classes is not going to get you out of debt. And we have a solid, world famous, and actually #1 in my view, debt reduction and consolidation companies, whether it's a private debt, a credit card debts, or IRS tax debt. They are able to reduce it by 30 up to 70% for you, which is to free up your cash flow. So you can put some extra into your investment or in your business. And we also work with the PNC insurance companies that can help you to build out a solid business with the protections, car insurance, home insurance, flood, and personnel umbrella insurance that you definitely need if you start a real estate rental or Airbnb, or commercial insurance if your business is already taking off, right? That you have employees, associates working with you. And of course, when you build your business, you want to build a legacy for your family. So we work with a company called Legacy Shield, right? To help you to build your will and trust, and in order to secure your business. And also, if you acquired a bunch of real estate properties, we can help you to build another type of trust to secure them as well, right? So those are the partners, and we actually work with over 200 different kind of companies and providers, financial providers, to secure your financial health. And according to S&P, your household asset allocation should be 10% in spending, day-to-day average spendings, 20% in life savings, right? For emergencies, for risk protections, for the unexpected events, and 30% in accumulations. Could be risk returns and diversified tax returns and all that sort. So that's kind of 30% of where real estate investment should be, right? And the last but not least is 40% should be allocated towards protection plans. That could be a self-made pension, could be a personal pension, and it could be education fundings, and also most important thing is secure something for your retirement, right? So that's kind of the allocation principles from Standard & Poor, right? This is not we borrowed the concept from them and we've advocated that as well. And in fact, we worked with a lot of financial certified and licensed individuals to help you to secure your higher health in the finance, right? Before you jump into the business, or if you are already in the business, we need to help you to secure that. For instance, we help the family protection plans, right? That could be health insurance plan, long-term care plan, or life insurance plan, right? There, living benefit term insurance only costs you $50 a month, but it yet provide a living benefit that to cover the emergency, like unexpected expense on health or critical illness, terminal illness type of situation, so that you don't have to cheap sell your properties or your business in order to get a cash to support a family or support yourself. And we also help you to build up a solid retirement plan, whereby, small amount of money, you put it in, and ultimately it will give you a good return in the future. Don't count on 401k or Social Security. That's not enough. And given the last few days, the market tumblings, you already know quite a few people cannot retire anymore. They just lost about 20 to 30% of their retirement money, right? So they have to continue to work for another 5 years to recoup that, hopefully. But there are other solutions that you don't have to risk the market up and downs or inflations, right? Or longevity issues that you live too long and you have dementia, right? So we have a self-made pension solutions we work out with our partners we'd like to refer you to. And the next is the investment. It doesn't have to be just one thing. It could be Bitcoin. It could be stock, mutual fund. It could be life insurance as an investment. Of course, real estate is a good investment as well. But there are solutions whereby they never lose money, but only go up. Have you ever heard about that? Right? That's something you need to pay attention to. What I mean is the following: don't put all the eggs into one basket, right? And you need to educate yourself. Real estate is a good solution, but you need to stretch your vision so that you don't get cheated, you don't get fooled by the market, right? And again, we teach, we train, we help you to earn, and we help you to own. And last is when you own money, when you make money, what are you going to do with the tax? Well, IRS doesn't do anything, but they earn 25%, 28%, 30% from you, right? So there are ways to actually secure your business earnings, but also reduce the tax exposures. We're not illegally evading the tax. We're helping you to reduce tax exposures. There are tax now, tax later, and the tax never. There, of course, Roth IRA, but there are other things you can put money in and grow the money, never pay tax again in the future, right? That could be a HSA, could it be 529, could it be 7702 or 11A or B, right? Those are the things that a lot of people don't know. So I would highly suggest you to reach out so we can refer you to someone professional. Ann and I both have sufficient financial consulting background and then licensing. And you can also reach out to us. We'll give you some ideas. And all the screenings and the scrutinies and the initial consultations is all complimentary on the house, right? So feel free to reach out to us, and we will provide contacts for tax experts, CPAs, CFAs, CFPs, or other line of business contacts. Now, as we say, we provide the real estate side of the deal, insights, data, tools, solutions, coachings to help you. But to close the loop, we also provide the protection of your business, the protection about your household well-being and health, and in your finance health, right, in order to close the loop. As you can see, we do one-on-one consultings, and we work with over 221 different partners to give you the solutions and help you to secure your business future, right? So that you run the business to success, not to the sewer, right? As we said, your deal is our mission, and we help one more person to win. And we're the deal maker, and we're also dream makers, okay? And 90-day campaign is the motto from us, but I hope that's the idea that you can embedded and into your business and into your deals as well. Now, let's talk a little bit about your decision to run a business, which is a great decision, right? Why is that so? Because timing is everything. Timing is everything. And there is a generation in America which is a 1/3 of the population of US population, but it's accounting for over 60% of the wealth and assets. It's what we call the baby boomer generation. They're born between 1946 and 1964. So as of last year, the youngest baby boomer has already turned 60-year-old. So when this generation was born, they created a baby food industry. They grow up, they create the toy industry. And then when they grow up again, become teenagers, guess what? They start dating, they start having fun. Then the fast food industry was born because of this generation, baby boomer generation. Then when they grow up, start dating, start earning income, start building up their households, then the car industry was born in the 70s, right? And later on, they invested in the real estate in the 90s and early 2000s, and they invested in the dot-coms in the late 90s, right? All these boomings and the spikes of business opportunities and industry, new industries, were all thanks to the baby boomer generations, including those famous founders, Steve Jobs, Michael Dell, and it's all these people. Steve Jobs and already mentioned, and then Bezos. All these are baby boomer generations, right? That's exciting. That's exciting. So what do we do? What do they do? Are they still buying more properties? Are they buying more cars? Are they buying toys? No, that's why Toys R Us is bankrupt, right? They are at this moment retiring as we speak. So what does retiring mean to your business then? You need to open up your mindset, because retiring of this richest generation is bringing $45 trillion asset transfer between baby boomer and Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z. It's going to be $45 trillion according to Financial Insights, Wall Street Journal, for the next 30 years. So if you're in your 20s and 30s, you are so blessed. All you need to do is to start the business, associate yourself with this generation or with the money movement, including brokerage or buy and sell their properties, right? But yes, we can buy and sell their properties because property is a part of the transfer. However, finance is much larger. It's a 3 times bigger industry because they need to move the money. So what I'm suggesting you to consider is way beyond your current thinking. So why don't you reach out to us to come and learn, the financial basics, the investment basics, the different financial tools, and different investment, real estate investment strategies, right? It's all complementary on the house. And we also teach you communication skills, business skills, which train you to own your business and run a business. One of our youngest trainee were 18-year-old when he started off. Now he's making about $20,000 a month in real estate business, not just deals anymore, right? He has employees, he has a business structure and all that, right? And that's exciting. And we wanted to see your success too, right? So come and join us. But there is a condition. We only associate our companies with the credentialed people and then reliable people. So we may require you to conduct a background check. But if you just want to come and join our events, that's okay, right? Our events is complimentary anyway, if you're part of our membership, right? But if you really wanted to consider advanced learnings or essentially turn yourself into a business coach and advisors, right? Investment advisors, then you need to pass a background check, right? And with all that said, Aaron and we have shared quite a bit of information, right? What is your option? There are 3 options up in the front for you. First, you can be just a client, buy our leads or buy our properties, or dispose your properties through us, be our clients, and, we split profit with you, right? Or you can come in here, learn, and earn some extra money. maybe here and there, $1,000, $200 a month, or could it be as much as $10,000 a month, right? $20,000 a month. Yes, we always have to learn. And there is no such a thing called we're learned enough and we can be dangerous. No, you got to learn. Because even real estate industries and the financial industries evolved so much in the last 20 years that the tools, techniques, and the way of bypassing all these complexities, bureaucracies has already evolved. So come and learn with us. We have a head coach and we have a coaches, consultants to help you out. And the last, even not the least, is my most favorite. Ride the wave of this baby boomer generations of retirement and start owning your business. Again, if you want to just own a business in real estate, that's great. But if you want to expand that scope, business people only follow money. They don't follow property, right? By following the money, you're following the generations. Generation baby boomer. And they need to retire. They need to find a retirement home. They need to build a nursing home. They need a long-term care, right? Whether they have a longevity, but they have a dementia, they need those services. So if I were you, I would definitely build a business that would give us chance, build a business, for instance, to have, a retirement home, build a nursing home business, right? That might be a really, really good consideration. All right, with that said, this is all I can share with you. And yes, if you really care about joining our events or participating in our coachings and mentorings, come and see us, okay? And we love to have you. And what I suggest you to do is reach out to Ann and myself and other consultants and the lead coaches, all right? And of our people. And this is Ann and this is myself. And scan the barcode. Now you can get a hold of us, at least for 30 minutes, and we can talk to each other and brainstorm a little bit about your business. I have 30 years of experience, right? And has extensive real estate investment, financial advisory business. She has a master's degree in architect. She is more than qualified to coach anybody. Okay, she is a big business owner in Texas area and all over, Colorado and other states too. Me too. I have a business in 15 states, and also in Canada. So if you really wanted to learn about a business, learn investment, come and reach out to us. And of course, we have tons of good lead coaches available to you, including the co-founder of the business, right? And then we have the serious entrepreneurs, and we have also our in-house trained consultants, Catherine's, and so on and so forth, right? All right, before you leave, I also would like you to fill out a survey, okay? This survey is not just a survey about assessing us, it's actually a survey about your business and your investment. Inside of the survey, you will have a very simple complimentary self-assessment tool to figure out whether you are doing things correctly, and there are some direction changes you may need to consider. With that said, I'm going to give the stage back to our MC, the powerful, exciting, and beautiful Sophia. Here you go.
All right. Thank you so much, John. That was really something. And I agree that opportunities in real estate are truly gold mines that just wait for us to tap into. And I guess this is one of our lucky days where we get to learn about this straight from our experts, from John and from Anne. And I know that you guys have a lot of questions out there. So at this point, let us open the floor to questions, clarifications, so our speakers can address them. Okay. You can type it in the chat or message personally to our speakers if you have any questions related to the presentation, related to your business. So let's open the floor for that.
Yeah, you can also private chat to Anne and myself or Sophia, and we'll be happy to answer you. Anne, did you receive any question? Hey, Anne, I got a question. I'm really young and I have never worked
Okay.
before. How did you train your coachee to really start making money and to like $20,000? And do I have a chance? This is a private chat I just received. Um, how do you address that?
Mm, I think it's very possible because we have people that come to us with no experience before, and like within a year, if they have a clear roadmap and we break down the activities for them, what they need to follow to build a new habit, the right habit, then it's possible to make, like 15, 20K for first year. That's very possible. Um,
Mhm.
so I think the issue with the people is when they don't have a clear roadmap, they don't have a coach to help give them the right direction, you're gonna make unnecessary um, mistakes
Mistakes.
that
Yeah,
would cost you a lot of time and a lot of more, like money wise. Because
that's right.
zero is a hero, right? Don't lose your money. Is very important. At the
That's right.
same as don't lose your effort in something that doesn't work out efficiently. Um, so that's why I said, okay, sit down with the coach or somebody already went through that, and then we can help you, with your business strategy. We need to talk to you first, right? Because you need to know what is your goal, what do you want? Because
That's
if you
right.
don't know what you aim for, then how can you make it happen, right? Um,
Essentially, it's to
and of
clarify
course,
the goals, right? Clarify the directions.
yeah, and a breakdown on the action and the strategy is very important because, like John said at the beginning, okay, are you here to move from build to build, or you are here for the business? Because if your mindset is on the building business, then you set yourself in a different mindset. You have strategy. You just don't do things like the chicken, without head, right? So you do it, and it helps you more efficient, and you get to the goal faster without without feeling that you have put in a lot of effort. Like you feel like it just come very easily. You don't feel tired or you don't feel exhausted. Right.
Very good.
That would
Very
be
good.
my answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree. And in my view is building business has nothing to do with the age. The younger, the better. The younger, the accumulation time is much longer, and also you have a more room for errors, right? But younger can also be a risk where you started off on the wrong foot, then down the road, 20 years later, you're gonna regret how you started, right? As people says, the starting point, if you miss by 1 millimeter, then you can add it up like 200,000 miles difference down the road. So yes, great question. Anything that you received that we need to address?
There's one more thing I want to add. I think one of the seminar that me and John we was on previous, last week.
Mhm.
I remember there's a message, right? There's only two mistakes that you can make. Number one is you don't take action, you don't get started, right? Like you just think, and you keep checking around. You keep letting the opportunity pass by. So that's the mistake number one. You don't get started. You don't take action. And mistake number two is that you don't go all the way. You
Yeah,
give up.
that's right.
Because
That's right.
if you give up, that means you you cannot win. As long as you stay, as long as you put your activity in, results gonna come.
Very good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So another question I got here is
Yeah.
how much time? How much time do I need to uh
Oh,
to commit when get started?
well, should I give it a try, Anne? Yeah.
Yeah, and we
Well,
have another question as well. Let's focus on that question first, and I think there's another person just put in a question.
okay. Yeah, so okay. Rabia has a question. Can you elaborate on the assisted living business you were talking about? And you and I have yeah, well, if you're interested in that, that's wonderful. So we are in association with several investors, including property investors, property owners, and also um, registered nurse and the nurse practitioners and the doctors. And we put our brains together to consider building a nursing home or assisted living, probably is more realistic, assisted living community, whereby there is a huge demand for that, but meantime, not enough supply of residential spaces for them. And also, there is another consideration, which is to convert existing residential into assisted living. So if you're interested in that, definitely talk to Ann, talk to me. We would like to, and that's a brand new strategy that you probably never heard from anybody, big dog group or small dog group or no dog group, right? So it's very, very exciting. Um, and then regarding time, it really, I mean, I'm not gonna give you a cliche answer. It really depends. I mean, again, how much you have, right? If you have 2 hours, you can do a 2 hours business. If you have 1 hour every day, you can still do a 1 hour business, right? What kind of a business can you do 1 hour? Referral business, right? It's not enough for you to put your hands and feet into the business. But there are so many people willing to do so. So why don't you start referring and make a profit sharing and a referral money, which can make you $200-300 a week or so, right? It's not going to be huge. But if you really want to put your hands and feet and mouths and lips into the water and try it, then you definitely need more than 3 hours a day, right? If you are full-time professional, 9 to 5, then you got to prepare for like work from 6 to 8:30 before you go to work, and then 7 after you put your kids through the dinner or to bed, you start working again for another 2 hours. So 3 to 4 hours a day, that's very, very normal for an entrepreneur. And if you really do have the will to put in 3 hours additional to your full-time job, talk to us and talk to me. I have a lot of opportunities I can propose to you to include you in. Then real estate is too small for you, right? So we can start it off with the real estate, but it could be too small for you. So let's talk, right? Regardless, that's a great, great question. And I think we're pushing the hour. And then I guess that's it. And Sophia.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you so much,
thank you,
everyone.
John.
So, thank you again for our speakers today, John and Anne, for joining us and sharing your expertise with us. I know that some of you have more questions, so feel free to set up your calendar. It's provided in the chat, the QR codes that you can scan for John and Anne's calendar. And if you have more questions, then feel free to email us and to email our consultants. And without um, we're pushing the hour, so we'll all take the day off and let's all be excited for what opportunities we will be getting this week. I know that we were already Friday. It's already Friday, but it's never too late to start. As early as tomorrow, maybe we can all take action with whatever we have learned today. So, with that, thank you so much, everyone. And I wish to see you more in our next open houses and our next events. Feel free to contact us. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank
Have a good
you. Bye
weekend.
bye.
Have a